there are people who feel the same way as me when it comes to romance. So I'm making this video just to give you a bit more perspective. Give mama a big kiss. Hi! Hello everyone, how are you? So today I want to talk about romance books. I have a very interesting past with romance books, so I'm going to discuss it today. I was the veteran, I was the leader, the marching, screaming leader saying that romance is bad, romance isn't good, romance is nonsense, romance is for the kinky, it is so absurd, it's so unrealistic, it is not the thing. I was such a young reader. I was so young. I used to think that the whole idea of it was just nonsense, but it was also because of my own internal feelings towards romance and intimacy, I believe. But that's like going into the psychology of me, and I'm trying to generalize things here. So yeah, let's change topic. Even like rom-coms, I did not rate rom-coms at all. Rom-coms? That was not my cup of tea. I just thought it was so ridiculous. Like the whole idea of like finding love with the meet cute like that. Like it just didn't seem realistic, and I didn't want to fall into such expectations, you know what I mean? Then I had an epiphany because of this book. I never have these books ready. I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and it changed my whole idea of romance books. So for me, I always thought that romance books always followed the same pattern and the same plot lines, and I thought that was kind of boring and annoying, and it would always get to that like misunderstanding trope, which I really don't like, where characters don't choose not to talk to each other just for the sake of angst. It's not even the character, it's just like the author deciding we need more angst for the story to end powerfully, you know, not just letting the characters be. And this was a story where I felt like the characters were actually doing what these characters wanted to do. Ugh, I take a shot every time I say characters. And I love that about this book. And then I realized that there are other romance books that are like this, romance books that suit me. And I feel like there are a lot of people, especially in the fantasy genre, or in general, who just don't like reading romance books because of these, like, you know, these sort of stereotypes that they have in their head, or like these ideas of what romance is and the plot that they see all the time, which is like, no lie, there's stereotypes for every genre. But for romance, the stereotype, I don't know, it irks me. It's something that it pissed me off a lot. But then I read this and I realized that, you know what, there are other books out there that are worth my while, that are in the romance genre. Like, romance doesn't have to be something unrealistic and annoying. Actually, the beauty of romance is that the escapism is just amazing. Actually, you know what? There are people who feel the same way as me when it comes to romance. So I'm making this video just to give you a bit more perspective on why you could take a chance with romance. Romance could actually be the escapism that you need right now, because there's a different type of escapism with fantasy and with thriller books. But with romance, the escapism is more intimate. And I'm just going to discuss all the themes about romance and why it's actually pretty good right now. I hope you enjoy. This is what romance does to me. Romance books do this to me. I get too giddy, and this is not me. I'm not this giddy in real life. The first issue with romance books has to be plot and how painfully predictable it is. And I used to think that was a bad thing, but then as I started reading more romance, I realized that predictability brought on this familiarity. Just like how love, we all have in some way, shape, or form experienced love. And when we read romance, if someone feels familiar, and even though the stories can be repetitive, the essence of the story doesn't fall away, and that is also repetitive. So isn't that kind of the charm of romance books, that it's just showing you love in different ways and beautifully each time? Next is tropes. I really hate the misunderstanding trope, and I used to think that every single romance book followed that pattern, but that's so not true. For example, The Enemies to Lovers, which I love so much, has a totally different pattern, and I realized that there are different tropes for different romance books, so you can find one that suits you, just like you would with fantasy books, and it's awesome, really. The big one, romanticism. This one really used to kill me before I started reading romance. I just thought that these expectations for love and how love is supposed to be were really annoying and limiting in a way, because then it gave me only one framework of what love is meant to be. But then I realized that this romanticism, rather I take it as escapism, because that's what it is. You know, this is all fictional, so you don't have to take it to heart so deeply, but you can feel the emotions of the characters as deeply as you want to, and that's the charm of it. Lastly, there is love between these pages. There is a story between these pages that is real. That feeling is real. And though the story might not be real in real life, but the fact that someone has put down these words and captured the light of this world is something so beautiful. And I'm not trying to say that romance books are the ultimate thing, because they are kind of cringy, but at the end of the day, they're magical. Welcome back. I'm still here. As you can see, I'm wearing the same top but different hairstyle. I filmed this video today, the montage part, with my hair blonde. Then I did my hair today as well, so now I have my braids. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the best of both worlds. So the romance book I'm reading right now is Lovely War. I got this book like a few months ago. Yeah, and I'm only getting to it now because it just suits the times. I mean, why not? If you asked me like a year ago, Joella, you want to read a romance book? I would have said no, a waste of my time. It's disgusting, ew. But now my perspective has changed and I'm only like 100 pages in and I'm sucked. I'm lost. I'm lost in the story. I'm lost romances. I'm lost in the beauty of love being told like this, and that's what romance is for me. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope that you get a bit more perspective on romance. And if you want to get into romance, I hope this encouraged you. And if you still don't really want to read romance, bro, do you, boo, do you. Thank you for your time and goodbye. We're soaring, flying. Every time I finish a video, you're still here. Can you please leave? Like, we had the end credits. Bye, babes. Bye.